How do you enter my dream space every time I'm supposed to meet you? It's not like a coincidence because it happens every time we meet.
I think that's a mystery.
You know, Shilpa, many of us, we just go to sleep thinking that we're just going to see some random images in our dreams. Like, we don't even think before sleeping, first of all. But what you're telling me is that our dreams can literally change our lives.
I had a dream where I saw my grandfather. I was extremely close to my grandfather. When I woke up, I was like, I must be a bad granddaughter to wish for somebody I love to die.
Wow. So you actually saw his death before it is...
It really happened.
Before
A couple
it
of
really
hours
happened.
before it happened. Dream of a death does not mean a person is dying. It can be a death of an old belief, habit, pattern, or something else.
How can their lives change after intuitive dreaming?
So because your dreams are actually giving you creative guidance to the way forward. You're being told not just about a prediction or what's to come next with other people's life, but you're also being told what to face in your life.
Hello everyone, welcome to the very first episode of the Inspired Living podcast. I am so excited to start this journey with you. If you are on your spiritual awakening journey or your personal growth journey, then this podcast is for you because I will be interviewing many thought leaders and spiritual guides who are going to take us deeper into the realms of spirituality, help us understand deep spiritual concepts that is going to help us ascend on our path of spiritual awakening and also completely transform our personal growth journey. Today, we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Shilpa Menon. She's the author of the book Living with Angels and the co-author of the book Coach Wisdom. And she's also the master of the dream world. She's going to take us through her journey of intuitive dreaming and how every day when we're sleeping, we're missing out on so much magic and so many mystical, intuitive insights that we can really use to change our lives, to change the course of our day. Whether it's about taking certain decisions in our lives or certain important transitions or changes that are happening in our lives, or it's about certain support that we need from our guides, from the universe. Dreams can help us with that and so much more. Let's discover that together with Shilpa today. Before we start, I want to share a very interesting thing that's been happening with me. Every time I meet Shilpa, I see a dream a day before. Either that dream is giving me an insight about what's going to happen tomorrow, or she's communicating something with me, or it's just a sign that I need to set up a meeting with her. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how you do that, Shilpa. How do you enter my dream space every time I'm supposed to meet you? And let me tell you, I also saw a dream a few nights before, we met for this podcast, and you asked me a few questions I clearly remember. So it's not like a coincidence because it happens every time we meet. So how do you enter my dream space?
I think that's a mystery. No, but the fact is our dream self or our subconscious self or our intuition, it literally guides us. It tells us what are the next steps we are supposed to take. There's a category of dreams called as precognitive dreams.
Yeah.
Okay, so as to what is to unfold. And there's a category called as creative solution dream. There are multiple categories of dreams. It is highly possible that you're looking for a certain clarity or certain answers. And that's the time I may have popped up in your dream, because it's always that the dreamer has to decipher or interpret the dream. The way the dreamer looks at that person is how the person will refer back into your dream. So let me give you an example. When you think of me, not me as in me right now, but just Shilpa as an entity, what are the qualities or what is it that you think about her?
I feel you've been my guide for quite some time now. So the way that I look at you is mystical. That's the word that comes to me. There's something mysterious and mystical about you.
Right. And the word you also said was guide. So is it highly possible that you're being guided by a figure in the dream that is representing me?
Yeah.
That could also be a possibility.
Absolutely.
And one is, of course, that we are genuinely going to meet a precognitive dream. And you're being told that now is the time to reach out to me or anybody, any person.
Yeah.
And then you really move forward with the dream.
That's
in your
true.
waking reality.
But it doesn't happen with anyone else.
Yeah.
It just happens with you. So I'm curious, like there's something going on there, and I think it has to do with your energy, because the moment I'm to meet you, my dreams get more vivid.
That's interesting.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. Intuitive dreaming is something that you've been doing for quite some time now. You've been involved in it. And you told me that you had a precognitive, or what we call a premonition dream, when you were 15 years of age. So tell me a little bit more about that, like what really happened then.
Yeah, so back in those years, of course, I did not know the term precognitive dream. All I remember was it was in my teens that one morning I woke up and I had a dream where I saw my grandfather. I was extremely close to my grandfather, and I saw in the dream that my grandfather's passed away. Okay, and what I'd also seen was that there's a particular way he was lying down, and there's a time on the clock, and exactly the whole setup and what am I to do next and how it's going to work out. And that was the time when I woke up. I was like, I must be a bad granddaughter to wish for somebody I love to die. But I shared it with two of my friends, one relative and a friend, but I couldn't shake off this feeling that they told me it's a bad dream. You know how in India we usually tell, Bura sapna, it's really a bad dream, let it go, not a big deal, move on. Or there's a myth that share it with somebody so the person can live longer. So I was like, no, but I couldn't shake off this feeling. And of course, I can't be a bad granddaughter because I genuinely loved him a lot. And there was nobody at home that day. My father and my eldest sibling had gone to work. My mom and my other two siblings were in another city. So, and I had to go ahead for another assignment. And I was like, today I'm not going to go. Come what may, I'm not going to go. After a couple of hours, maybe 2-3 hours later, my grandmom came home and she was like, please wake up your grandfather. He was in a separate room. And he said, I think we have to serve him food. So please wake him up. And now as I'm walking through that door, where he was sleeping, the whole dream started to flash back before my eyes. And I was like, oh my God, just don't tell me it is what it is. Besides, I had in a way shunned off the dream in the morning at one point because my grandfather was a disciplinarian. That was never his time to sleep. You know, and again she came and said, wake him up. So, you know, there was something that was contradictory that was going on. Plus, he had a particular place to sleep. He would never sleep with what I had seen in the dream. So I said, maybe it's a figment of my imagination. However, the moment I started walking to the door, there was this entire feeling of the dream that took over. As I opened the door, my eyes went on that clock. It was exactly the time I'd seen in my dream. And then my eyes went down and I saw him lying in that same position. I walked up to him and I just knew he was no more. It was only because of my dreams. I had never seen death before that. Or rather, I would say it, our parents had kept us away from any. There were no close deaths in the family, first of all. Plus, if there were any in the extended family, we were kept away as children. What is interesting, Ashmita, for me is that I was literally aware of what to chant in his ears, what to say that time. I was guided in my dreams, which I realized much later as everything was unfolding, what to tell the neighbor and call them. I called up my eldest sibling and I told him that don't tell dad that this is what has happened. Because they say that if you tell someone, my dad also had a bit of a challenge with his heart and stuff. So I said, they say if you give such a shocking news, it's not good for the other person. So just tell him he's really unwell and critical.
So they here being?
The guides who had guided me in the dream. The entire dream had come through to me. Which when I woke up, I remembered some fragments. But as I opened the door, it kept coming back to me, to what I was guided. I knew I'm supposed to call a family doctor and call him here, so we need a certificate. So it's crazy because I've never witnessed death before this. And so the entire process went on and further on. So this was the first ever cognizant, aware, precognitive dream. I've been dreaming since I was young, but this is something that shook me up. And I started to realize that dreams do come true and not all dreams are waste of your 8 hours of sleep. There is more to life, more to sleep than what meets the eyes.
Wow. So you actually saw his death before it
really happened. A couple of hours before it happened. And that is why we call it a premonitive or a precognitive dream.
Yeah, where you're seeing the future.
Where you're seeing what is going to happen in couple of days, couple of months, or years to come.
So your guides were like guiding you on that he's gonna die and this is what you need to do.
Yeah, so today I use the word guides. That time I had no idea that you can call them guides. Truth be told, I just knew that I've been guided and that the vocab that time is limited, you know.
Do you feel that had you not been guided, you would have reacted differently to the situation?
I'm sure, because I was 15 and I was alone in the house with my grandmom. There was no other elderly person. And for her, she's losing her husband. So her breakdown would be very different. So I really believe that this vision or this dream was given to me so I can handle it with a lot of love and care and ensure that everything is done as it's supposed to be done. And today when I look back, I was extremely attached to him. So the guidance coming to me was something probably his soul would want me to do at the last rites, you know.
Yeah, I feel he really wished for you to be the one.
He just chose in that moment, and the transference really happened. That seemed like a one-off case at that point. However, in the next few years, anybody who's transitioning from Earth to the other realm, I started to get dreams of a couple of more family members who were going to leave Earth and in what circumstances. Till then, the story became, I'm not sleeping, because if I sleep, I get a dream. And if I dream, then the dreams come true. I'm very grateful to the dream world and my guides that that was the time I also started getting what we call as positive dreams, because that we don't take it as a positive. So it is a transition today. When at this age, I can say that, but that time it doesn't really feel like it's a positive dream. I was also given dreams of new births, engagements. So then I was okay with receiving any kind of dreams and to recognize that these are what are called as intuitive or precognitive dreams. This is when my search actually started, that why do we sleep? Why do we dream? Because there were some bizarre dreams and that didn't make sense. Precognitive is, you can make it out. But what about the other dreams?
Yeah.
So the search started then, way back.
Wow, that's amazing. But tell me this, some of the people who might be seeing this, they might have had dreams of their loved ones dying. I think most of us have had once in a while. For you, it actually turned into reality, and that must be really hard. Is it true for everyone that when we see a loved one dying, that they're probably going to die?
No. Because, you know, dreams talk to us in images, metaphors, and symbols. So a loss of a loved one in a dream not necessarily mean that he or she is going to die. It could be death is also transition. It could be a transformation of a certain relationship. Either the person's going away, either there's a certain set of completion or something new that's going to come in through your life. There's another layer. I wish interpreting dreams were that easy, but dreams is all about the person, the dreamer, and how he or she works with their map of the world, how they look at life. So it could also be that the person has a fear, and when we don't face our fears in waking reality, they will start coming in your dreams. That, hey, wake up, knock, knock. Face this, work with it, do something about it.
I remember for me, the lesson was to face the fear and to move beyond it, because that one fear was blocking any good visualization. So once I faced that fear, I was able to move beyond and visualize great things, and I was able to manifest better once I faced the fear of, let's say, losing a loved one.
And here is my question to you. When you did face this dream, and I remember having this conversation with you, did you really lose the loved one, or was it that something else was happening in your life?
I feel something else was happening. It was for me to face the fear and move beyond it. And I also feel a karmic cycle was ending, and probably the dream was a representation of that.
Absolutely. Dream of a death does not mean a person is dying. It can be a death of an old belief, habit, pattern, or something else.
Yeah, and based on what you shared, I also want to share that when I was in college and I didn't know anything about dreams, is when I saw a dream where me and my family were traveling in a plane. My dad was flying a plane, and something happens and the plane crashes, and my entire family, we fall down from the plane and we come on these stack haze. So we're all saved, but my father gets an injury in his stomach. But by the end of the dream, he is fine, like he is okay. And after a few moments, a few days, I realized that my father had stomach cancer. And I was telling my friends that, hey, you know what? I saw that in a dream, and they didn't believe me back then. But I felt that that dream was sort of preparing me for what is to come. And it made that journey so much more easier, because I had this deep inner faith after that dream that he's going to be fine, because in my dream he was fine.
Absolutely.
So I felt like I had already known, and so through that entire journey I had this weird faith.
Feeling that, knowing that it's all going to be well in the end.
Yeah.
And there with certain categories of dreams, with whatever I've learned in so many years, the end of the dream really matters. Sometimes people do get stuck in one or two aspects of the in-between parts of the dreams, but end really, really, really matters, because it's going to tell you where is it the journey moving into. And speaking of precognitive dreams, in ancient times, can I share that?
Yeah.
So in ancient times, and people would get precognitive dreams, and there are certain philosophies where if a child is to be born, especially in the Jain philosophy, the mother would get a dream of 14 specific symbols.
Oh.
And anytime these symbols are to be given in the dream, when they receive these symbols, they know a Tirthankara is born. Going back in ancient time again, King of Pharaoh had a dream. And he had a dream of 7 fat cattle and 7 thin cattle. What it really means is that in the next 7 years in your kingdom, you're going to have lots and lots of abundance and harvest, and life is going to go good. However, the next 7 years, you'll have famine because there are thin cattle. So again, this was a metaphorical or a symbolic representation of a dream, which the dreamer and the dream interpreter understood. So otherwise, normally we would say, I've just seen a cow dying and oh my God, So it really doesn't mean that way. And literally 14 years to follow, that's exactly what happened. But thankfully, because the 7 years of abundance of harvest, they had saved enough and more to cover up for the famine.
Wow.
Connecting to your dream, you were told in the end all is going to be well. So you worked through the whole process. And then he says, okay, I know my father's unwell at this point, but in the end, it's all going to be well.
Yeah.
So there is a guidance also that comes in your precognitive dreams.
Yeah. And I think it was such an important time for me to have that dream. So it was literally planted inside my head.
Absolutely.
That's amazing how the entire dream
world works.
So tell me, Shilpa, there are different types of dreams. There is, some people say it's astral travel, some people say lucid dreaming, and you talk about dream incubation or intuitive dreaming. What are these different types of dreams?
Right. So I'm going to put it in a very simple terms. Okay. So lucid dreaming is something that when you are dreaming in your dream world, okay, so it takes us we are sleeping for 8 hours, and it takes us about 90 minutes to enter into an REM or a dream state. Okay. So when you are dreaming, the dreamer or the sleeper becomes aware that I'm dreaming. He becomes lucid.
Okay.
And then can navigate with the dream. That is called as a lucid dreaming, which is coming to you while you are sleeping and dreaming, and you are aware and you work through the dream. Astral travel, as a terminology, from what I understand, it means that your dream body is traversing out of your body and is going places. I find that very amazing and fascinating, because a lot of times when there is a fun adventure travel, you've moved to a city or a place without any visa or a passport or a ticket, but you're basically traveling other realms, other countries, other people, and you come back, your dream body comes back to you. And conscious dreaming or dream incubation, which is also an ancient belief and a practice, to incubate is to sleep over it. So here you put an intention before sleeping to find an answer for a certain situation that you want guidance for. I think as human beings, all of us want clarity.
Yeah.
And we all want to sometimes find our own voice versus other voices of friends, family, or guides. Sometimes we want to know where we want to go and how we want to move forward. This is the time this process really helps, where you put an intention before sleeping, you sleep, and then when you wake up, a dream is given to you, and you make a note of it, and you start understanding the question you asked. What is the answer you're receiving, and how does this correlate? So that's the difference. I hope you can understand. In one, you're sleeping, putting an intention to receive an answer. In one, you're aware in the dream that you're dreaming. And third, your dream body is traversing and coming back. So there are 3 different terms.
So let's go deeper into the dream incubation and the intuitive dreaming part, because that's where the real mastery is. You spoke about certain ancient rituals or traditions where people used to do dream incubation for certain things. Tell me more about that.
So, from what I know of and my research, in Greek mythology, even today there are dream theaters and dream temples. And in ancient time, people would literally go on a pilgrimage all the way to those dream theaters and dream temples, and they would seek guidance. It could be around health, it could be around wellness, it could be something that is at lost cause in their life. So they would literally walk. They had again a process where you would go clean, you would detox, जो हम आजकल की दुनिया में बोलते हैं spiritual यात्रा कर रहे हैं या pilgrimage कर रहे हैं. So you're off meat, you're off wine, you're off certain things that you're not supposed to eat. You walk into the space, then you have a conversation with a dream priest. Okay, there are specific terminologies for that, and you tell them that I'm here to seek this guidance. They will put you through certain prayers and rituals, and then there comes a night where you're put inside a dream theater or a dream temple, and you're made to sleep on animal skins and the snake skins, and snakes are slithering, and there's a huge process around that as well. And then the person, the healer, the person who's gone on a pilgrimage will wake up and say, I received a dream. And then they help them with these dreams and interpreting that. By and large, in so much of research and work, the answers that would come in the dreams were actually helping them get healed and become better and move forward. There's a huge pillar there. I'm sure one day I'll visit the place, but from what I've seen in my dreams and on internet, there's a huge pillar over there which has actually a lot of dream answers and solutions given over there, which I find very fascinating. And the reason I just mentioned I've seen it is because I did have a vision of traveling to that place in my dream, and I've seen that entire theater, one of them, which is in Greece called as Epidaurus.
Wow.
And it's where originally the dream god Asclepion was there, and they also say that when the person is in the dream temple, if he sees Asclepion or god Morpheus, the dream, again another dream of god, then you're going to find your solutions much faster and quicker. Similarly,
so even now we can see him in that temple? I
am guessing so. I've not been there. I wish one day I'm there to be able to give that answer, but really don't know how it works, because now I believe it must be kind of ruins or something that's to be preserved.
You spoke about seeing that temple in your dream. Tell me more about that.
So I was working on dream incubation, and I was working on a certain content and module, and this is a habit I have. I usually ask my dream for the way forward for a project, people, place, situation, whatever. And I was actually talking, that time I was working with a group of people around dream incubation. So I'd asked for a guidance that show me if I'm on the right path, and am I doing the right thing, and this is my content, and is there anything more you want me to work around with? And that morning when I woke up, I had a dream. I would call it, I personally believe it's an astral travel, because I saw myself above a place and I saw an entire amphitheater, I saw light, I saw certain places. And I kept wondering, I said, wow, what is happening over here? And that time I asked when I was up there, I said, I wonder what place is this? And the answer came was, this is Greece and this is Epidaurus. So as soon as I came back and all the rituals and processes were given to me, I just made a note of it. I sketched, I drew. In a couple of hours, I wanted to see if really a place like this exists. And literally I first wrote dream theaters, dream temples. So multiple of them came. I was like, no, not this, because one remembers what one has seen, right? So I was like, no. And then I pinpointed one. I said, this is the one I saw. I opened the picture and I looked down. It was Epidaurus.
Wow.
Where actually the first ever dream temple had started for dream incubation. And for me, it was a journey of, you're on the right path. You are moving in the right direction. Take this work forward.
And you also got certain rituals, certain prayers.
Yeah.
Wow, in the dream.
In the dream.
That's fantastic.
In the dream.
Shilpa, many of us, we just go to sleep thinking that we're just going to see some random images in our dreams. Like, we don't even think before sleeping, first of all. A lot of us don't consider dreams as important. It's just like random images coming to our minds. And if there's a nightmare, then we'll wake up and feel a little scared. The rest half of our day will be a little bit low vibrational, but that's about it. We don't pay much attention to what's really happening in the dream world. So, or if it's a really good dream, then we might feel a little happy, but nothing beyond that. We don't carry forward any message from the dream throughout the day. But what you're telling me is that our dreams can literally change our lives. Like, there's so much wisdom in it. It can guide us. It can help us in so many ways in our lives. So why should a normal person who doesn't really care about dreams should start caring about dreams, and how can their lives change after intuitive dreaming?
Yeah, so because your dreams are actually giving you creative guidance to the way forward. You're being told not just about a prediction or what's to come next with other people's life, but you're also being told what to face in your life. Like nightmares are a gift, because you're something that in your waking reality you're not addressing is now getting magnified for you to now either confront it or do again something about it. So there's a beautiful saying that dreams are unopened letters from your soul waiting for you to read it, or dreams are message from your psyche or your soul back to you. I love the other one, which says that dreams are messages from the God or divine back to you. Please read them, please do something about it. And dreams are overnight therapy.
Yeah.
So you sleep and it's a free therapy. You're sleeping, you're waking up, you're getting your answers, you're getting your solutions. And I've always questioned that we've been given 24 hours in a day. These 8 hours are not just to sleep. There is something much more than what meets the eyes, is what I said in the beginning as well. And something like your dream, where you were guided how to deal with it. How do I really move forward? In fact, this is not just for intuitions, but I think you'll be amazed to know the Devil Sonata came in dream. And when he woke up, the entire sonata was written down. Some of the lovely music masterpieces have come in dream. Dr. Jekyll and Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, he says that the entire book was inspired from his dream adventures and dream journeys. This classic sewing machine today, which is in every household, had come in him, especially the last part of the machine, that how to place the needle and how should the needle look like, had come to him in the dream.
Wow.
So was the benzene molecular structure. So who should not dream is my question today.
Yeah.
It's for healing, it's for creativity, it's for genius, it's for your health. You also get dreams which will tell you what to do, what to eat, what not to eat, and how to look after yourself. So there is something that's happening when you're resting, relaxing, and insights and intuitions are coming to you.
We were also talking about how dreams helped you in your corporate life when you were working in a corporate.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
Yes, so thank you for reminding me of that. And that is exactly what got me to start researching on dream incubation and conscious dreaming. Because in my corporate world, I had a habit, I still have that, of writing my to-do list and how my day is going to unfold and what are my meetings and where all I need to go today. Thanks to the phone, I also write in the phone calendar. So there was a project I was working on, and this happened many times. This one particular project, I was literally at a crossroad and I didn't know what the solution is. I was just feeling that I'm up the wall now. And I kept brainstorming before sleeping, what do I need to do, what are the solutions? Nothing was coming. So I made a note by my work journal and I went off to sleep, actually a planner back in those years. And I went off to sleep, and in a couple of hours, I found the answer. So I wake up and I literally write the answer and I find my breakthrough. And few days later, that project was a success because I got my breakthrough.
Wow.
And I realized that was happening a lot of times. So, we say, let me sleep over it. And sometimes we also tell people, sleep over it and you'll have an answer. This is when your brain starts to relax and it starts looking for what is priority and starts to give you answer what is next that you need to do. Because this was the time I have a feeling I was tapping into a deeper intelligence that was guiding me to even find a breakthrough or an answer, which was not something I would have conceived or perceived on my own.
Wow, I think we're missing out on a lot. That's what I'm getting right now, by not being conscious about our dreams, by not really taking on that intuitive journey. We're missing out on a lot of things that could just get easy.
Much easy. And Shilpa, a lot of people don't even want to acknowledge their dreams, because if I see a dream, I'll have to act upon it. And am I genuinely willing to act upon it?
Yeah.
But if I choose to, then my life can get much better, easier, calmer. I don't have to be so stressed all the time,
Yeah. we can start healing.
We can start healing. There are healing dreams. You know, your dreams can also tell you what's not working well in your body. And you are actually guided sometimes what to do next.
That's true, because once I woke up and and in my dream I saw this powder that I need to have. It was a cauliflower powder.
Interesting.
And I thought, what does this mean? Or cauliflower powder? So then I Google it, and it was actually there, and it helped in acidity, and that is exactly the problem that I was going through. And I woke up and I'm like, weird, why do I remember this? So I ordered that powder, and I think that just came through from my dreams. And I've had other dreams where I'm being guided on what exactly to eat.
Yeah.
So that's so true. And
So imagine
beautiful.
your body is being guided. And this is when you're sleeping. So you're still using the most of your time while sleeping peacefully, and you're getting answers. You know, in Malaysia there is an actual tribe, a Sonoy tribe, and it's amazing to know that they literally spend more than half of their day around dreams. And I love the culture. When I heard about it, the moment you wake up at the breakfast table, the first conversation is, did you sleep well and what did you dream? And do share your dreams with me. And the family guides the children whatever the dreams mean and helps them to take those steps each day. Then the adults go and meet the other adults, and then they discuss their dreams and they move forward to what needs to be done. Similarly, in the Native American tribes, they have been told where to go and fish, where to go and hunt, where to look for a medicine or a root. So I find this very fascinating that that's such a major chunk, which is what, 33% of your day, 8 hours of sleep if an average human sleeps well. All the insights and answers and wisdom is being tapped into it. And there are cultures across the world that are really following it and working with it, though they're in small pockets. But it's fascinating how they've been able to move forward with these insights and answers.
Yeah,
Inventions, technologies, healing, interdimensional travel. Talk about it and it's there.
What is one of the most fascinating dreams you've seen?
I just shared a while ago the one with Epidaurus. I was amazed that I could travel without a visa or a passport, or take a plane and see an entire place which really existed. Similarly, last year I was to travel somewhere, and prior to that, the dream came of a particular mosque. And it was a gorgeous mosque, similar vision. I'm on top, I can see everything 360 degree. What's the color? Where's the water body? What are the color of the tiles? And then I had booked my tickets. It was in UAE. And I spoke to my client with whom I was planning this entire trip. And I said, you know, I saw a dream and this is how the mosque looks like. By any chance, it is anywhere in Dubai or Abu Dhabi? And she says, Shilpa, you'll be amazed to know where we are putting you up in Abu Dhabi. From that room, you'll be able to see this particular mosque every day.
Wow.
And I feel blessed that I could physically see the place, and it was beautiful. It was exactly as I had seen in my dream. These are sometimes validations, of course, of what you're seeing in your dreams. Does it really happen? Something interesting happened very recently again, that I was getting a dream of a rishi, a particular sage, for 1.5 years, and I kept writing, you know, who is he, what is it, and I kept asking. Sometimes dreams come to you in trailers. It's scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. So that's how over a year and a half, I kept getting this part series of dreams, you know. And I was writing and I said, okay, what is it about? So I discovered that this was about Vedic astrology. And it was nowhere on my radar to learn any of this. But the image that I got and the way it was. Few days later, a year and a half, which is not few days, but when the dreams had stopped, there's someone in a group post a course of Vedic astrology. And as I said, it was nowhere in my radar to learn this. But the poster had the exact image that would come in my dream. So I instantly called up and asked the teacher. I said, are you teaching? What language are you teaching in? I said, where were you for the last 1.5, 2 years? She said, I've just started doing it again. I'd taken a mini pause because she was doing other stuff. I said, just sign me up right now. You know, so even things like these. So there are many. I think that will go on and on. But very recent ones are the ones I'm sharing with you.
I think
right
that's
now.
really very fascinating. And I want to ask you that some people might just be Googling their dreams, no? Like, let's say I saw a rat in my dream. What's the meaning of it? Is that the right way to interpret our dreams?
I've been telling you from beginning that the dreamer is always right and how the dreamer perceives a certain image, symbol or metaphor. But I'm going to ask you this question back. What does a rat mean for you when you see a rat?
I feel a rat means that I'm probably not cleaning my house well.
Right? Anything else that comes to you when you think of a rat?
Just something is dirty probably.
Right. And if this was my dream, I associate rat with Lord Ganesha. Okay. So for me, if I see that, and I'll again, it's not just seeing one particular image in the dream, but there is also something called as what was the energy, what is the emotion, who else was there, what was happening, what's the beginning, what's the end, right? But just if I had to use this word for me, I'll say, oh yeah, I think that reminds me of Lord Ganesha. And if I think of Lord Ganesha, रिद्धि आएगी, सिद्धि आएगी, life में कुछ अच्छा और नया होने वाला है. You know, that is how I would probably perceive it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, I mean, thank you Google Auntie, but I'm sure that Google Auntie can't really help you with this. It's a lot of inner work and how I make meaning of words, people, places in my life. So it's very important to do the work on your own and create your own personal dream dictionary, which changes and evolves from time to time in the context of how the dream has come to you.
Now there may be many people watching this who may not remember their dreams. They may be like, the moment I wake up, I forget.
Yeah.
So what about them? Should they be worried that they can't remember anything?
No, not really. Statistics say that there are a lot of people who don't remember the dreams and there are few who do. But again, if you're very curious the way I am, like I look forward to my sleep. You know, I have snooze times. I want to sleep now. Like I want to shut off from the world and receive my dreams. It's important to put an intention that I'm going to recall my dream. I want to recall my dream, but also I'm willing to receive it and work with it. Plus, it's not just waking up and remembering your dream. I know we live in a digital world where people wake up and look at the phone. So what really happens is the moment you're exposed to it, the dream is beginning to evaporate. So it's important to be in that pose for some time and say, okay, what was I? One of the best things is, was I dreaming? What was I dreaming? And you can rewind and catch the dream and receive the dream. So that's something when you wake up. But there are also multiple sleep rituals you can do, which can allow you to receive good dreams.
Yeah, and with that, I want to talk to all of you about the sleep rituals and the dream rituals. We're going to be discussing that and a lot more in the upcoming masterclass, where Shilpa is going to personally take us to a dream portal where we can understand our own dream world and receive an intuitive insight or a solution to a problem that we're going through, as well as we're going to discuss different sleep rituals and dream rituals that we can do to enter the dream world every night and start intuitive dreaming. So we'll talk more about that later, but first I want to ask you, Shilpa, that tell me a typical night of you going to sleep and you intuitive dreaming. Like, describe what exactly happens.
So for me, it's 2 hours prior to my sleep time. I'm off my phones. I sit down and journal. I write down how my day has gone through. If I want a certain guidance, then I will sit down and write what is the guidance I'm looking for. No social media, no watching TV that may create interference of the memories coming back, because see, in the end you have to clear the residue of the day. If I don't clear it, it's going to come into my dreams. For example, where is my key and where are the things kept? Or where is my file? Oh, I forgot to call this person. So that is something I really sit with myself and ponder upon. And then I, of course, enter into my own journey, which we'll again talk about a bit in the masterclass and share with people. But the most important thing is I keep my journal and my pen by my side, which is an anchor that I am going to remember my dream and work with it. So I shut off everything. I sit in a candle for last 2 hours.
Wow.
There are no lights.
And the next day you wake up and you have an intuitive insight, you know how to go about the day, or something or the other is happening that you're writing down, and something that makes your day more creative, isn't it? I love it.
Because I look forward to what is my priority and how do I really navigate.
Yeah.
And as simple as, aaj iske saath aise baat karo, you know, don't get rude or be very kind, or this is a conversation that's to come and this is how you work with it.
Yeah.
Something as simple and profound as that can also come through.
That's so true, because since the time we've been discussing the podcast, I've been I've started to remember my dreams.
Interesting.
And as I'm remembering it, even today I got a guidance on how to deal with a particular situation. So I'm so excited. I'm just excited now. What will I dream tomorrow and what will happen then? So I think it makes my life much more playful and exciting. Apart from this, I want to share a very wonderful experience with you, like something that happened that was like out of the box for me. Once when I was dreaming, it felt like a part of my consciousness was just sucked up. I felt like I was just traveling up into the sky through many, many layers. I saw myself go into the space. Then I saw myself enter into a very magnificent spaceship. And it was so massive and magnificent. I can't tell you, I can't describe it. But what I can remember from it, I can only remember some glimpses, was that everything was in HD. And HD, not how clearly we see things on Earth. It was next level HD. I can't tell you. And it was so beautiful, the spaceship. I could see there was some work happening. It was like these beautiful pastel pink and orange colors in the spaceship. And the thought that I remember having then was that I am in some other place right now and I should go back to my body. So I remember having that awareness and me trying to get back to my body, me trying to come back to my body. So what I started to do then was slowly with my awareness, I started to travel back down through
That's interesting.
Yeah, through the sky, through many, many layers, and then back into my body. And the moment I was back, I woke up and I was like, what was that? What did just happen? Did I go to a spaceship or was I just sucked up into a spaceship? What happened there, Shilpa? I can't make sense of it.
The dreamer is always right. What happened there for you? So of course, you've traveled another realm and you've had an experience. And my other question, just in connection with this, is what shifted in your life after this? If something shifted, and what were you going through at that time for this dream to come to you, where you actually traveled to other galaxy and came back? Did you notice or observe any shift in your life after that? Or what was going on in your life at that moment for you to receive such grand, magnanimous dream?
I feel I was aligning more towards my purpose, and it was like a validation that sort of something else or something higher is working towards, something greater is basically conspiring to make certain things happen here on Earth for me. And I could get that sense from the dream.
And did it start happening for you in your life?
I think so. I started aligning more towards my purpose after that dream. I feel so, yeah. Since that dream, I started to release and let go.
Did you also go very grand and larger than life and move forward with it?
Yeah, this podcast is an example of that vision, right? I started to align more towards what I really, truly want to do.
Also, if you're seeing a vision from here and still going somewhere, what would it mean for you?
A meaning?
Like you felt that you were out of your body and you went and you saw these lovely colors and you felt there was a spaceship. What does it mean for you?
It means that there's something beyond me that's happening. I can't comprehend it, but it's beautiful. So for those who want to begin on this journey of intuitive dreaming, who want to enter this magical world, this magical portal of dreams, where can they start from? If you could just give them one tip, one launch pad for them to enter this dream world, what would that be?
Go to sleep. Of course, you have to sleep, and you need good 8 to 10 hours of sleep, to be able to dream, because when you're sleeping, your body needs to rest, it needs to restore. It's only after that you start getting rejuvenating, reinvention, new set of dreams. So my first thing is, please go to sleep and create a biorhythm. Make a kind of a routine or a discipline that by so and so time I am going to sleep. When you start doing that with your body, you start to sleep on time, you start to receive dreams. That's one. Second is even to put in something as simple as to put an intention that I'm willing to recall my dreams.
Yeah.
These two things are extremely important. Rest, of course, we'll talk more later, but I need to sleep to be able to receive a dream, and I need to have an intention that I'm going to recall what I'm dreaming, and I'm willing to receive the gifts and the messages to be able to make my life really better. It's about me actually in the end. And I take it as a beautiful gift that the entire 8 hours I'm guided, I'm told, I can have fun. There's so much I can do in this world which makes me a better person in my waking reality.
Yeah, there's like a whole new world waiting for us to explore and enter through and just expand in that world. That's beautiful. Wow, isn't that amazing? I personally love it, and I would love for you to experience this more deeply. That's why Shilpa and I have crafted and created a masterclass for you. It's called Entering the Dream Portal Masterclass, where Shilpa is going to guide us through a journey where we're going to enter the dream portal and experience what a dream portal, a dream library looks like, and we can start opening up some of our dreams in that portal and receiving certain intuitive insights, gifts, something that is going to shift and change the way we look and perceive life today. So if you're excited for that, and if you also want to know certain dream rituals that we need to follow, how do we journal our dreams, we're going to answer some of these questions for you in detail within this masterclass. I feel it's going to be amazing and magical and mystical, and if you're truly ready to experience this and begin on the journey of intuitive dreaming, whether you work in a corporate or you do a creative business, or you just want to become and expand your intuitive powers, then this masterclass is definitely for you. Head to the masterclass, the link is given below, and you'll find all the information there. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Shilpa.
Thank you. I'm always happy to have a conversation with you. It's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad we could do this. I think it was very, very amazing, and I'm just in awe of the dream world now.
Thank you.
Thank you.